Hello students. In last session we were discussed about memory types, memory hierarchy, the characteristics of memory, so and memory allocation techniques. So in this session we are going to discuss about virtual memory and address translation. We consider the memory hierarchy. Memory hierarchy consists of different levels. CPU registers at the highest level, main memory at the next level, secondary memory at the next level. Cache is inserted in between the CPU and the main memory. Ideal memory is fast, large, inexpensive, not feasible, so use memory hierarchy instead. Exploits program behavior to make it appear as though the memory is fast and large. It recognizes speed, capacity, and cost features of different memory technologies. Fast static memories are closest to the processor, and slower dynamic memories are for more capacity, and slower disk memory for even more capacity. We consider the memory hierarchy. First, we'll consider the CPU register. Cache is inserted in between the processor and the main memory, and secondary memory is considered to be the large memory at the next level. So, depending on the increasing size, it is in increasing size, it is downwards, and increasing speed, it is in terms of processor, it is increasing in speed. Increasing cost, again cost is increased in case of processor. Processor registers are fastest but do not use the same address space as the memory. Cache memory often consists of 2 or 3 levels, and the technology enables the on-chip integration. If we consider very large programs or multiple programs which are active at the same time, needs more storage. In order to keep track of this more storage space, we need to access some additional memory. So this additional memory is not nothing but secondary memory. So we consider the multi-level memories. Multi-level memories consist of different memory hierarchies with 2 level, 3 level, and 4 level. We consider the 2 level memory. CPU with main memory and secondary memory are organized together. So the instruction sent from secondary memory to main memory to CPU. Data stream in between CPU to main memory and main memory to secondary memory in both in bidirectional. And in case of the next hierarchy with 3 levels, there is a cache. So this cache is split, which is called split cache. So it has separate areas for storing the instructions, that is I cache and the data D cache. Then third example, which has 2 cache levels, both of the non-split are unified type. So these are about the multi-level memories. Common hierarchies with 2 level in which CPU, main memory, and secondary memory are considered, with this example for with the example of traditional computer. Then second, in which I cache and D cache are used, which are considered to be the split cache inserted in between the CPU and the main memory. Then third is with 4 levels, 2 levels of cache are used. So these are inserted in between the CPU and the main memory. We consider the general characteristics. Relations hold between the adjacent memory levels Mi and Mi plus 1 in a memory hierarchy. Cost per bit is Ci greater than Ci plus 1. Access time is Tai less than Tai plus 1. Storage capacity Si less than Si plus 1. We consider cache and virtual memory. Various parts of the memory hierarchy are controlled in various fashions. Cache and main memory form a distinct subhierarchy whose design objective is to support CPU accesses with a minimum of delay. And if we consider main and secondary memory, so these form 2 level subhierarchy. The interaction is managed by the operating system, which is not transparent to the system software but is transparent to user code. So there exists the need for virtual memory. So what is virtual memory? Virtual memory is used when the main and secondary memories appear to user programs like single, large, and directed addressable memory. So there are three reasons for using virtual memory. First is to free the user programs from the storage allocation and to permit efficient sharing of the available memory space among different users. Second, to make the programs independent of the configuration and capacity of the physical memory. Then third is in order to achieve low access time and cost per bit. And the next is in order to convert the virtual address to physical address, which is stored in the physical storage locations. So what is virtual memory? physical main memory is not as large as the address space spanned by the address issued by the processor. When the program does not completely fit into the main memory, then there exists a virtual memory which stores the parts, if not currently executed, stored in a secondary storage devices. So there exist techniques that automatically move the programs and the data blocks into physical main memory, and these are converted to virtual memory addresses. So virtual addresses stored in the virtual memory converted into physical addresses stored in the main memory. So virtual memory consists of it exhibits the following characteristics. Physical memory capacity should be less than or equal to address space size. A large program or many active programs may not be entirely resident in the main memory. They use secondary storage to hold the portions exceeding the memory capacity. Needed portions are automatically loaded into the main memory, replacing the other portions. Programmers need not aware of the actions, so virtual memory hides the capacity limitations. So virtual memory the processor issues virtual and logical addresses. So virtual can be converted into physical address. So these proceed with normal memory operation when address contents are in the memory. We consider the address translation. All the programs and data are composed of fixed length units which are called pages. Each of these pages consists of block of words that occupy the contiguous locations in the main memory. The virtual memory mechanism bridges the size and speed gaps between the main memory and the secondary storage, which is similar to cache. So this depicts the memory management unit, which is involved in implementation of the virtual memory. So here the virtual address is converted into physical address by using memory management unit. If the physical address does not exist, then it issues services are offered by the operating system services, and it transfers the data from disk storage to main memory using DMA transfer. So these are about the memory management unit which implements the virtual memory. So next we'll consider the address translation. What do you mean by address translation? The virtual address stored in the virtual memory for given program Q, it must be mapped onto the real address space R. V is the virtual address, which indicates the set of abstract locations that a program Q can reference. R is fixed physical storage locations in memory unit MI. Next we'll consider the stages. Address translation carried out at 4 stages. First, by the program while writing the program. Second, by the compiler during the program compilation. Third, by the loader at initial program load time. By the runtime, memory management hardware or software. So there are two types of translation techniques. First is static address translation, and second is dynamic address translation. Address translation can be completed when the program is first loaded for execution, then the process is called static translation. Since the real address space of the program is fixed for the duration of the execution during the static translation, it is often desirable to vary the virtual space of the program dynamically during the execution. So this process is called dynamic translation. So next we'll consider different data structures involved in address translation. So they use fixed length unit of pages, larger size than the cache blocks due to slow disks. For translation, divide the address bits into two fields. The lower bits give the offset of the word within the page. Upper bits gives the virtual page number. Translation preserves offset bits, which causes the virtual page number bits to be replaced with the page frame bits. Page table, which is stored in the main memory, provides the information to perform the translation. So next we'll consider dynamic address translation system. So in case of dynamic address translation, the input address AB, which is the virtual address consisting of the base address BB concatenated with the displacement D. AB contains an effective address computed in accordance with some program defined addressing mode. So the real address which is given by BR is equal to F of BB assigned to BB stored in a memory map. So in this case, in order to speed up the mapping process, a data structure which is used, which is called translation look aside buffer. So To speed up the mapping process, part of the memory maps placed in a small high-speed memory in the CPU. So this high-speed memory is called translation look-aside buffer. TLB's input is thus the base address BB of AV, and the output is corresponding real base address BR. This address is then concatenated with the displacement in displacement D part of the AV in order to obtain the full physical address AR. So this is about the translation look-aside buffer. The TLB forms the cache-like level within the multi-level storage system for memory maps. TLB is also called address cache. The input is base address BV of AV. Output is corresponding real base address BR. The physical address is obtained by concatenating BV with the D part of the AV. So next we'll consider two-stage address translation. So for this we need to specify some of the terms. First is page and second is segment. A page is a fixed length block that can be assigned to fixed region of the physical memory called page frames. The chief advantage of paging is that the data transfer between the memory levels is simplified. Pages require a simpler memory allocation system than segments. So segments, which are considered to be set of logically related contiguous words, the physical addresses are kept in a memory map called segmentation table. So this depicts the two-stage address translation with the segments and pages. When segmentation used with paging, a virtual address has three components: segment index SI, page index PI, and displacement D. The memory map then consists of one or more segment tables and page tables. For fast address translation, two TLBs can be used, one for segment table and other for the page table. So every virtual address AV is generated by a program goes through two-stage translation process. At first, the segment index SI is used to read the current segment table to obtain the base address PB of the required page table. This base address is combined with the base index PI in order to produce the page address, which is then used to access the page table. So the result is a real page address, that is the page frame number, which can be combined with the displacement part AB in order to give the final address AR. So this is about the segmentation combined with the paging. So it consists of the following stages. Segmentation used with paging. Virtual address has three components: SI, segment index, page index, and displacement. Two TLBs are used: page table, segment table. TLB accesses the fast caches for the memory maps. Virtual address AB is generated in two stages. First step, SI to obtain the PB, that is base address of the required page table, PB combined with PI, that is page index. Second, result is page number combined with displacement D of AV in order to generate the final address AR. So page table, which is considered as the data structure used in the process. The memory management unit must know the location of the page table. Page table base register has starting address. Adding virtual page number to base register contents gives the location of the corresponding entry about the page. If the page is in memory, table gives the frame bits. If the page is not in memory, it results in the page faults. Otherwise, the table may indicate the disk location. The control bits for each entry include a valid bit and a modified bit indicating needed copy back. Also have the bits for page read and write permission. So these are about the virtual memory. Then need for virtual memory. Address translation, where virtual address translated into physical address. Virtual address is already stored in virtual memory. It is translated to physical address, which is stored in the memory, physical storage. So main memory management unit is used as a unit for implementation of the virtual memory. So address translation is required, which is dynamic translation and two-stage address translation, where the paging is combined with the segmentation. So we have defined different terms like pages, segments, two TLBs for one for page table and say other for segmentation. So these are the steps which are involved in the two address translation. So all these are regarding the virtual memory and address translation techniques.